I'll work as hard for those who didn't vote for me as those who did.
A new beginning for the White House as President-elect Biden prepares to become the 46th president of the United States.
While I may be the first woman in this office, I will not be the last.
And a historic moment in the office of the Vice President. Kamala Harris will become the first woman vice president and first woman of color in the White House, all as President Trump gives his final goodbye.
As I conclude my term as the 45th President of the United States, I stand before you truly proud of what we have achieved together.
Our Inauguration Day coverage continues this morning, just 3 hours from the swearing in. Fox 59 Morning News at 9 starts now. And good morning to you. It is 9:02 on your Wednesday morning. It is Inauguration Day, and it has been a busy day already. Here's a live look over the nation's capital. All eyes are on Washington, D.C. today for the inauguration. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jessica Hayes.
And I'm Melissa Crash. And before we get to all of our coverage today, we want to head right on over to Amber, who has a check of our forecast. Hey, Amber.
Hi there. Well, temperatures are chilly this morning, but I want to show you the forecast, what's going on at Washington, D.C. as well. Plenty of sunshine, but it is windy in Washington, D.C. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Certainly a possibility for today as skies continue to brighten out there. Temperatures in the mid-40s. Locally, we are beginning to see brighter skies off to the west. Some of our eastern locations still showing some cloud cover on our satellite and radar. It is 23 degrees outside. Here at the Fox 59 studio, we have temperatures currently in the lower to mid-20s with wind chills close to 10 degrees in Lafayette, Kokomo, and it feels like 13 degrees in Indianapolis. A quick look at our day planner locally. Skies will continue to brighten and we'll have temperatures cooler compared to yesterday with a forecast high near 34 degrees. Find out when we'll see highs in the mid-40s in your forecast.
Amber, thank you. And the scene is set for President-elect Joe Biden's historic inauguration at noon. He and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will take their oath of office on the west front of the U.S. Capitol building. He is attending a mass right now. Pandemic restrictions and fears over a repeat of the January 6th attack on the Capitol have left a normally packed National Mall and Capitol nearly empty. President Trump, we know, is not attending. He just departed Air Force One heading to Florida. In the last half hour, we heard from him and from First Lady Melania Trump. They gave their remarks. Again, they're now on their way to Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. Again, that flight is expected to be about 2 hours, so his last hour or so in office as president, he will serve that in Florida. And big changes this year for the inauguration, including 25,000 National Guard troops patrolling the Washington, D.C. area. Again, this comes following that deadly attack on the Capitol 2 weeks ago.
More than 600 of the National Guard troops are from Indiana. Fox 59's Eric Pointer spoke with the task force commander. He joins us now live from our newsroom. Eric, what did he have to say about the large presence of soldiers?
So he says that the National Guard has helped out in the past on Inauguration Day, but never this amount. But fortunately, he says things have been calm so far and he hopes that things stay peaceful. Lieutenant Colonel Barry Johnson is in charge of the task force of about 640 troops from Indiana who arrived over the weekend. He says they've been doing crowd and traffic control at the National Mall near the White House.
It is different, but it's also something we've done time and time again. So from a Guard perspective, we've expanded our operations, but it's really the same kind of operations that we've done before, just in a bigger sense.
I also spoke to a former FBI special agent who worked in D.C. He says at this point, everyone is pulling out all the stops, trying to be as prepared as possible.
Potential for trouble is certainly there, and trying to prevent another incident, throwing more resources at it than maybe is necessary, erring on the side of caution. I think that's all good. Nobody wants it to happen on their watch and in their area of responsibility.
He also says that the FBI will be analyzing intelligence as it comes in to work towards preventing any potential threats instead of reacting to them. Coons says that the arrests made after the Capitol attack could serve as a deterrent to prevent people from doing anything today. While there weren't many arrests on that day, the FBI has been working to hold them accountable. Back to you in the studio, Melissa.
All right, Eric, thank you. With just hours left of his presidency, President Trump issued pardons and clemency to nearly 150 people. The president granted pardons to 73 people and commuted the sentences of another 70. Among those include former advisor Stephen Bannon, who is awaiting trial in Manhattan on fraud charges tied to a border wall fundraising effort. Immediately following the announcement, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff tweeted his thoughts on the president's final wave of pardons, saying in part, quote, Steve Bannon is getting a pardon from Trump after defrauding Trump's own supporters into paying for a wall that Trump promised Mexico would pay for it. And if that all sounds crazy, that's because it is, end quote. Now, some others who were pardoned: rapper Lil Wayne for a gun possession charge, and Republican fundraiser Elliot Brody, who pleaded guilty last fall to acting as an unregistered foreign agent. And something else worth noting: whistleblower Edward Snowden, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange, and former zoo operator Joe Exotic were not pardoned.
Vice President Mike Pence and the Second Lady Karen will not take part in President Trump's departure. They did not take part, but they are attending Joe Biden's inauguration ceremonies today. After that, they are returning home to Indiana. Here, they will greet friends and supporters in Columbus this afternoon. It's still not known what their future holds or where they will be. One source close to the vice president says for the foreseeable future, they will split their time between Indiana and D.C. before fully moving back. Others say, though, they may stay in D.C., so not quite sure what is in store for them. Tomorrow marks 1 year since the first confirmed case of the coronavirus here in the United States. This was reported in Seattle, and this comes as our nation has hit a new milestone. More than 400,000 Americans have now died from COVID-19, 100,000 of them in just the past 5 weeks. The number of people who have died is greater than the population of New Orleans, Cleveland, or Tampa. By the end of the week, the death toll is likely to be higher than the number of Americans killed in all of World War II.
From coast to coast, people honored the memory of the lives lost during the pandemic, including here in Indianapolis.
And while each of us will emerge from the COVID era changed in some way, the change will be greatest for those who have lost loved ones.
Mayor Joe Hogsett and city leaders hosted a virtual memorial yesterday. Hoosiers shared their personal stories of loss. In Washington, D.C., President-elect Biden led a service in front of the Lincoln Memorial. During his remarks, he praised nurses for all they've done during this pandemic.
And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. If there are any angels in heaven, they're all nurses.
All right, the time now is 9:10. We're going to have much more inauguration coverage coming up this morning. Also, we'll have more on the breaking news that Philip Rivers is retiring from the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts just tweeted this out within the last few minutes as well. So it appears to be official. We're going to have much more again after the break. We'll be back.